On a small settlement late in the midnight hour, in a place now called South Carolina, Obinna gathered around the great tree with others like him. They were stolen from their lands and brought to this new place by force. Obinna hopes to rescue the people and return back home through their secret portals. It had to be done before his plan was discovered. This was the meeting place that they entered and left, in the form of leopards. They were a small group of trusted men and women that welcomed new members, as well as taught them the ways of old. It was their mission to use the lessons that they learned to help each other to find the portals back home. They could not fail. During the gathering, the new members were taught the history of who they were. Obinna explained, "We are of the Amander nation, a gathered people of power." In the time before time, when the earth was young and the stars sang in harmony, there was a kingdom nestled in the embrace of the Nalta mountains. This was Nalta, a realm of unparalleled beauty and wisdom, home of our people, the Amander. Their ancestors settled there after migrating thousands of years ago from the southern tip of the continent, now called Africa. They are distant cousins of the Zulu and Khoisan people. During their migration, they met some people now called Igbo and Ashanti today. They joined to become the Amander nation. They were a civilization so advanced that their cities sparkled like jewels under the sun, and their knowledge was as deep as the ocean that cradled their shores. They spoke using a click-type language. They could also communicate with each other and animals without speaking. This skill developed with proper training. Over the years, individual villages were established within the nation. In the village nearest to the Nalta mountains, there lived a group of highly advanced people. Our most recent ancestors. They used instruments that could cut stone so easily that it was like slicing butter with a hot machete. From this village, some advanced teachers created portals that would allow them to travel to different parts of this world. They used a far more ancient knowledge to build protective attire that would allow them to travel through the portals unharmed. They researched the areas that they visited and reported about many new discoveries and people. They were the remnants of the first ones that left our original place before the lands divided. The advanced people left bits of their knowledge, technology, and culture in each location to help the locals to remember their true origins. They returned periodically over thousands of years. When they did, the villagers came with gifts. Some even built statues of them, giants' heads of stone and more. The scientists never asked for these gifts. The villagers did all of this on their own. Some tried to take advantage of that. But that is a story for another time. A rogue group of scientists secretly worked in their laboratories and discovered a way to use technology to blend the essence of the leopard and the human. It was their goal to create warriors that could endure any battle. The final element was added that allowed it to work. It was a byproduct of using the portal. Today it is called gold. Whenever the portals opened and closed, it generated gold dust. The regions around the world that held the highest deposits of gold were the regions that the portals were used the most. Regarding the leopard's balm, by simply rubbing this genetic compound mixture onto the skin of a human, it imbued them with the strength and agility of the leopard. It reinforced the primeval wisdom. They tried with other animals before adding the gold element, but none were successful. The incomplete hybrids were sent through the portal to various locations around the world. Today, they are misunderstood as gods. This was against the laws of natural genetics, so the Sky Council held a meeting. A decision was made to end the work immediately. No more testing of any new variants on animals or humans. Anyone that wished to be a part of the elite team and receive the well-developed leopard's balm would become the highest-level military force called Umu Agu. But it was by choice only. Both the leopard and the human must be willing to share their DNA. They were also informed that this leopard's balm would link to their mitochondrial DNA, and down to their 1000th generation would carry the markers of the leopard. Those that agreed received it through an elaborate ceremony in the 4th dimension. Hundreds of years went by. More people on the continent joined Amander as they migrated into the territory. They were welcomed because the leadership of the nation knew that the people all came from the same source. They were family, Their lives were harmonious. There were some small disruptors. They were dealt with accordingly by Umu Agu. One day, a group of sky seers discovered an anomaly in the weather that foretold of a major catastrophe. A planet would come into the orbit of our own and cause waves of water that would upheaval the sturdiest of kingdoms. They observed the water levels in the rivers, nature, the manner in which the animals moved, as well as their direction of travel. The delegation informed the Sky Council and devised a plan to send people through the portal to various locations around the Earth. Each group was provided with technology that connected them to the Sky Council. A giant Ikenga guarded their portals. These Ikenga are the same guardians of the families today. They must stand near the portals in order for the technology to activate them. This means that they are a valuable part of the community. Everyone and everything had its purpose. The plan was in place. Obinna continued telling the story. He said one fateful night, under the silver glow of the full moon, the Amander gathered for the ceremony of the mind's eye. It was for new initiates that were willing to take the leopard's balm. The air was thick with the scent of frankincense and myrrh, and the rhythmic beat of the djembe echoed through the night. It was during this ceremony that the clan's eldest sage, Namdi, revealed the hidden truth. Our ancestors, Namdi began, his voice steady and deep, were not just masters of the mind but also of the form. They could traverse the boundaries of flesh and spirit, becoming one with the animal kin. Tonight, we awaken the spirit of the leopard within us. The initiates each rubbed the leopard's balm onto their skin. As the ceremony reached its zenith, the initiates felt a surge of primal energy coursing through their veins. Their eyes reflected the moon's luminescence, and one by one they transformed. Their human forms gave way to the sleek and powerful bodies of leopards, their rosettes glistening like stars against their golden fur. Before they could complete the ceremony, a great rumbling occurred. Namdi said in a hurried voice, "The time has come. Now for the final steps." He told them that the Umu Agu transformation was not the only gift bestowed upon them. The ancient teachers, wise and benevolent, had left behind portals, gateways to distant lands and times. These portals were etched into the very stones of the village, invisible to the uninitiated. Now that the third eye is opened, you will see the unseen. When the rumbling became louder, they looked up to the sky. They saw an unrecognized planet in the distance. It was not there before. It was coming towards Earth, Namdi said with authority. We must move quickly. To the portals! He sounded the alarm. Back at the sacred tree in South Carolina, the group listened to Obinna tell the story. They were completely enthralled and intrigued by it. They were literally waiting with anticipation to hear more. Many of them never knew that they came from a place far greater than where they were. They only knew the life of enslavement. Obinna told them that they are descendants of the Amander nation. He knew it to be true because he holds the invisible artifact inside of him. It helps him to identify his family on a cellular level. Obinna explained, when a descendant is near him, the beacon of light within him glows. Family members are being recognized and called together. You could hear sighs of relief and hope in the air. One new initiate asked, "Why does this tree have a light that keeps shining? The others will see it and destroy it," Obinna explained. "Only the initiated descendants can see the light. To others, it's nothing more than a sound that irritates them. Light has a frequency of sound." In the distance, their keen ears heard footsteps. They stood, ready to pounce. An initiated watcher arrived and told Obinna, "Someone is coming." Obinna told everyone to gather themselves, clean the ground of any footprints, and get back to their sleeping quarters. They all did as he said. Tune in next time and find out what happens next.
Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our channel. Tell others about us. We are telling our own stories, blending the past with the present and the future.